15. Mm. Um, 6. just trying to decide what to do now. Got a few options. I should work on the Mozart line dictionary. There's a number of things I should be doing. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's on the tree. I'd like to maybe try out a new feature quickly to TL Corpus. Small new one. Maybe an integrated browser window. That's why I'm looking at TL Corpus. So there's a new Visual Studio update. I don't know, I'm going to take an hour, 2 hours. Should be really useful for users. Yeah, I'm tired. I haven't slept much. And I had quite a long day. I want to work for at least 4 hours there. Right, so what were we doing? I also want to look at load all. Load all. Making notes here of things to do. So what was the list I said? What was everything I said just now? Look at the browser window idea. Forget to load all the external use stuff. Yeah, it says stuff. Everybody go buy something from our store. Being a credit card. Right. I don't know if that's not. Right. Right, so I want a sort of a relatively big dictionary, and I want to run it in server mode, and then I want to run the exact same dictionary in client mode. Yes. Then I want to see what happens if I try to load all. Boom. That looked like it worked really well, but it didn't. The entries didn't all load properly. Why? That's a very good question. Why do some entries load and some not? Let's think of a number of possible reasons. Maybe nothing is loading. Look at this. Is anything even loading? I do notice all the entries are in the wrong order as well. Which reminds me, I wanted to just check Instagram. Where the hell's my phone now? It's not. Okay. Damn, I'm not really muted. Let's check the summon on here. We're saving the server logs. Saving server logs. One of these windows. Let's see if it's logging alright. The request to load an entry. Abound them. Or if there's no logs, if there's no server logs, then something's okay. It's logging alright. You can see it calling load entry, sending data back. I wonder if there's a bug in that stuff I just changed yesterday. Oh, thread size 28. Um, 1949. Content type application JSON. Result empty. Strange. Return result empty. It's returning empty. Most odd. So the problem's on the server side. It's returning empty for some reason. I should try debug mode here. my socks. Sometimes if I don't know, sometimes I feel sleepy. I take off my socks and I feel a bit less sleepy. I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense or if I'm just imagining it. But, yeah. So I want to put a breakpoint here, but only firstly that's the client. Secondly, this is a server. In the server we can load the actual data. Choose a power plan, power performance. And now we're going to run the client. Failed to query service tags. Oh, that's obviously because we haven't said start server. Start the server. We could make this into like a game. Start game server. Right, we gotta. Okay, so the server's running in debug mode, so I can catch the request to load entry in the debugger. No, that is the client. Load entry is here. Okay, so basically, as soon as I click on an entry here, we should hit that breakpoint. Boom, in the server. Awesome. Okay, F10, F10. Step over, step over. F10 and 11 and all that, it's just standard debug stuff. Step into, step over, and step out. Right. F10, F10. Control F10, run to here. Node not found. Failed to find entry with ID 8. That's why it's not working. But why is that failing? That is the question. Ability. Database administration, show node IDs. Okay. Ability. Because ability is node IDs, not 8 by any long shot. It's 138,166. What the hell? Where the hell does 8 come from? It's either some locally allocated node ID. Where the hell does that come from? Alright, the node IDs are supposed to be identical. If it's 260 on the server, it must be 260 on the client. Node ID 7. It looks almost like an index. It could be passing. So the question is, when does it get the wrong ID? Could be in the entry list, when it gets the entry list. That would explain why the Chinese entries the other day didn't work properly either. I have a feeling it's, yeah, let's switch things around. Run the client in debugger for a second. And what connection is settings? Just try to close a few other things because of the speed problems. I don't know, I'm very afraid it could just be finding her. What photos do I have now? What is this? Potato Planet. My connection is dying of speed problems here. What else? There was something I wanted to add to this list. What are the things I mentioned earlier? Telcorp's browser function, payload server, load all stuff. I should check. Yeah, I don't know if I did it in there. Oh, wait, I don't know do that stuff. I don't remember. So the entry list stuff, I suspect, either it generates the entry list wrong, and it's really hard to say. It could generate the entry list wrong, it could be receiving the entry list wrong. What I suspect may be happening is that the there could be some mix-up between entry IDs in the entry list and entry indexes or something. No, that doesn't make sense. Let me just read the code, see if I see anything funny. Okay. If term doc else entry ID else make pair entry ID. Okay, it must be adding the pair correctly, yeah. That's definitely an ID, right? Okay. I've got 81 followers now on Twitch. Right. If I say right again, why do I keep saying right? It's really annoying. ID entry, T-string format %D. I have a feeling this may have something to do with the way JSON handles these flippin' arrays. Let's put a breakpoint over here. And I'm also going to do something else in Lemmalis. I want to log the IDs. Okay. There's too much there but to open here. I'll close a few things so that I can just try. What can I close? Maybe this. PG admin. Oh yeah, I'll check that PG admin. Righto. We want the server. Actually, I want to debug both, to be honest. So it must push back gen entry last %D %S. Okay. And here's where it gets the entry list. and this is unpacking it. So this is the unpack side. String to int. Why string to int? What is the problem? String to int. Why is it a string? Oh, huh? No, it seems fair. ID equals string to int. Allocate element by ID, that's the problem. That problem is that ID is automatically generated. There's your problem right there. So it mustn't allocate an ID. There's the problem. So that thing that I logged, I don't think I need to do it anymore because I think I just fixed the bug. It's gonna work now. What can I unpin from here? Okay, looking at this. Right. So I'm gonna load. That one again. Right. Now we run this as the server. Then we run a second copy again as the client, and it should work now. And let's see what happens. Even the client mode, authenticate. This is actually coming along. Gap analysis. It's a slightly cheesy word, gap analysis, but I like it because gap analysis. I don't like to use it because it's very cheesy. I'm a bit embarrassed to use it, but it really captures the concept. Of what is the minimum I need to do to get from point A, from where I am now, to making this thing a feature. The new TL service IO. What's needed to specifically an official feature. It's almost ready. I don't even know what I've got to do. Actually, it's not almost ready. Okay, it needs edit, save, checkout stuff. Multi-user without thread issues. Need to be able to configure the port to run. Needs automated stress testing. I think that's optional. Show loaded number percent loaded status. Oh, track updates. Track changes updates. Yeah, that's quite a lot still. It's not a new. It's not ready yet. It's not ready at all. Okay. Let's unmute some of these people. See, that's better. Those IDs are not correct. So if I now click on an entry, yeah, it should load. And if I do a search, it should do a load all. Boom. And it loaded. That's really cool. It loaded 8,000 entries in just a few seconds. So it's fast. It's not slow. That is nice and fast. Okay, it's only 8,000 entries, which is average, I'd say, for a dictionary, I guess. Would be interesting to see. Plus, there's a lot of unnecessary logging and stuff. So look at all this logging of junk. So if we, and this is debug mode. So it'd be interesting to see if we took away the logging, how fast it would be. Okay, it's also on the same machine. So so load all with high latency could be too slow. Very low latency because localhost to localhost. Parallelize. I need to disguise the fact that I'm using Notepad. It's embarrassing. Anyway, stop using Notepad. It's like this bad habit I can't. What's really annoying about Notepad is if the power goes off or Windows crashes, then I lose what's in my Notepad. That really is annoying. Oh, that's why it's not playing. It's just music. Okay, what was I doing? It'll be interesting to try this in release mode. Oh, and the other problem is, there's a second problem. That's more important, actually. It's a serious train smash. The engines are being added to the first section. And should distinguish sections. Must, not should. That's, I don't know, hours work, 2 hours work. Check out stuff, saving, check out his whole thing on its own. Let the server is closed, open the game, make statuses, status assistant. I don't know if that's important. Alright, multi-user. Details can be a port runs on. Select a dev gap. Anal, no. Analysis. This is server. CIO. Choose whatever. So yeah, the other problem is, which is quite bad. It's oh wait, yeah. So there's actually 2 sides, and it's like 4,000 per side, but it's just loaded all 8,000 into the same side, which is very daft. Oh, and cross-references are another whole ball game. It's a whole thing. Yeah, so what else? Not much. There's probably a good few weekends, and then it could be a new feature. At this point, I'm halfway there. Still not sure if I'm gonna, if it's worth going all in on this. I think so. Check out stuff. I don't even know if that's critical. I could launch beta without checkout stuff. And conflict resolution is non-existent. You just override the other guy's changes. I mean, yeah, cross-references. But it's not that hard, is it? Especially if you don't have to worry about it keeping it persistent. I don't think it's that hard. This could be a problem. Load all with high latency could be too slow. Because if you've got, because it's literally saying, hey, give me an entry, wait for it, send it back. Give me the next entry, wait for it, send it back. That's fine on from localhost to localhost, like I'm developing. But on a real internet connection, if that's in the order of a couple hundred milliseconds, maybe, you know, that whole round trip, I don't know, it could be a few. Even if it's a half a second or a quarter of a second, if you've got 8,000 entries and it takes a quarter of a second, then it's going to take 2,000 seconds just to load them, which is what? 33 minutes. Yeah, no, that is not acceptable. So much for it being fast. It's not fast. It was an illusion. So there's 2 ways to deal with that. Will be too slow. Parallelize threads. Animate. bulk fetch. There's no reason I can't say give me 10 entries or give me 20 entries. Yeah, there's no reason I can't say just give me 20 entries at a time or whatever. It does make certain things a little trickier. Like, if you send 20 entries, but yeah, no, actually it's not really, it's fine. That'll be easier than trying to use threads. But you could also open three or four parallel connections to the server. They could even be bound to the same session quite easily if we do it right. And the same authentication session. They could just be like extra helper threads or connections. And then you could combine these. You could say, have 3 threads, each asking for 20 entries at a time, or 100 entries, or 1,000 entries. I mean, if you ask for 10 entries at a time, then it takes 3 minutes instead of, even if you ask for 20 entries, then it's going to take less than 2 minutes to load, which is fair. That's fair. It's fine. Although, if we're looking at a 100,000 entry dictionary, then I don't know if it's going to be, I don't know if that'll work. Say it's 100,000 entries. Say we have 100,000 entries, and you send them in batches of 100 at a time, and you need to send 1,000 batches. If the round trip time is 250 milliseconds, for argument's sake, then that's 250 seconds, which is 4 or 5 minutes for 100,000 entry dictionary. That's not bad. That's reasonable. That's, you know, it would be nice to be faster, but it's reasonable. There's other ways. I don't think that on the fly compression is really going to help. My gut feel is this probably won't help much. This probably won't help much. The reason being, I don't, you know, unless you're on a dial-up modem, that's a good question though. Let's be mathematical about this. 100,000 entry dictionary could be 400 or 500 megabytes of data. It could be 500 megabytes of data to download. So the bandwidth does actually no, oh my god, maybe wrong. If 100k entry dictionary, if you want to make Helix file, then uncompressed, and as JSON, is even worse, as JSON pseudo-binary blobs, could be looking at over 400 megs download, data to download, uncompressed, which may be non-negligible even on reasonable connections. Jackson was saying packets. to switch as auto reconnect and disconnect without add-ons. That lasts for changes. So these are like basically the most. That's a good few weekends of work. It's really non-trivial. But yeah, we're getting there, step at a time. So let me just check now something else. Yeah, I mean, when you're dealing with networking, there's two main things you're looking at to evaluate the speed, the performance of a connection, the bandwidth and the latency. And they both have different effects. Like you can have a high latency, low bandwidth, or high latency, high bandwidth, or low latency, low bandwidth, obviously, which is ideal, I mean, no, low latency and high bandwidth is ideal. Where did I do those changes now to add the Poco DLLs to, I thought it was in this VM. If I didn't do it in this VM or this VM, then where did I do it? Must be on this other machine. Or I did it in the ECVM. It's not. Oh no! I did not do it in the ECVM. That's weird. Then where is it? Maybe I did it on local host. I mean local host. Calling my laptop local host now. Right. It is, technically it's not wrong. Not right, but it's not wrong. Okay. Okay. It is, I mean, mine looks working. Okay, let's shut that one down. I'm trying to figure out where I added these things now. Poco DLLs. The Poco DLLs I'm talking about are just this third-party library that I used for all this network stuff, for the HTTP and all that. And there it is on my list, Poco DLLs. But yeah, those DLLs need to be added to our builds. I did it the other day, but now I can't find where I did it. Maybe I committed it already. I doubt it though. Why would I commit something like that? It's not impossible. Installers. I can't find it. That's so weird. Oh look, I committed it. That's a bit scary because I don't know if that was a good idea. Adding your DLLs to the official builds without testing it first. That means the next build I do includes the Poco DLLs. There's not a lot that can go wrong, including those DLLs, but it's not impossible that something goes wrong. It's very unlikely. I'd say there's a 1% chance it causes problems. Actually, no, it's not going to cause problems. There's temptation to think that, a mistaken temptation to think that simply adding a DLL that you're not linking to can't cause problems. And in theory that's right, except there's an exception to that. It's possible that one of the third-party things you link to dynamically tries to load the same DLL, and you've then inadvertently changed the behavior of that thing. Like, for example, we use Ceph3, and Ceph3 dynamically loads a bunch of things. So it's not. So if Ceph3 happens to try load Poco for whatever reason, then it could cause problems. I doubt it, since that is not a dependency that is very likely to exist. I guess I've already done that. So what's next then? Test it. Generate some beta build. And then I want to maybe add a feature to TL corpus. I think beta build the other day. Top record 39. Build 39. Beta build test with Poco. Aha, I've already done it. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things about programming for a long time and getting older. You start doing things and then you don't remember that you did them, and then you go do them again and then you realize you already did them. Let's just send a message quickly. Beta build test. Man, come on, get up there. Alright. Damn. Some webcams are not properly secured. That's okay. I'm fully clothed, I'm wearing pants and all that, so it's not like you're going to see anything anyway. The webcam goes in a funny direction. Not supposed to say that on a public stream, am I? So these bearable tests, so I did tests now. Oh, I wanted to check the expiry date, that's what I wanted to check. The 15th May. We're very close to the 15th May, aren't we? So I think it's probably due for about some new different. This is too long. Although not really. Actually, what is it now? The where are we now? 9th of May. 20 days. Yeah, no, it's fine. Overthinking. I want to add a new application to our application lineup. I don't know what the GL Translate should be added, should be released. We need to do a GL Translate gap analysis. There's that word again. Oh, there's this client server stuff uses RPC for their purpose interface. Expiry date. I'm trying to think of a pun on that date now. Just asked someone on a date. Not really a date. I don't do dates. I guess I should. I don't have anything against them. Actually, I do. I do have something against dates. Yeah, I don't like to do dates. For a few reasons, but that's a bit private. Right, so I want to SVN update, and I want to test those builds. I want to test those builds. Now test, there's a few things I mean by testing them. I also need to build a non-beta one and test that. Install a 2029. Oh, this build didn't finish. No. Variable test, but it didn't finish. That build didn't finish, so maybe we should just build a new one. Run builds 2030 variable test. I should have done 2031, because now I actually want to do the official build on another machine. That's 2030. Oh, it's not the end of the world. These are just test builds. So let me just SVN update. Everybody, okay. Okay. Copy config 10.18. Third party Docker. I can actually see what I'm doing now. Maybe I should create another 9 connection here anyway. So you can see what I'm doing. Just I've forgotten what I'm doing. This is what happens when I haven't slept properly. I also forget what I'm doing the whole time. More so than usual. Yeah, cursor problem. I want to do an official build test. Oh, yeah. No, I remember what I mean. I should set up these folders. This is all messed up. This mouse. What's going on? So I've been watching. I finally started watching that Black Mirror that everyone is talking about. I don't know if anyone has watched it. So then, it's good, but some of them are a bit weird. But This is the one episode where everyone has this built-in recording, and they can play back or delete any moment in their life, but it's just recording the whole time. And I realized that I'm recording so much in my life that almost just seemed normal to me. Like, my life is already almost like that. I've got so many cameras recording so much all the time, and I've been living like that for years now. Like, go back, play back, check this, check that. But it's a very good story, that one. Very good story. The Black Mirror episode. I've got some interesting stories about all my camera recording setups. It kept me out of trouble, some serious trouble. I don't want to get into that actually. But, alrighty, what am I doing? I need to try debugging path. Third-party button. Basically, the long story short, I've got CCTV cameras all over my house recording, and in the gardens and all over the place. Okay, not in the bathroom, but almost all over the house. Okay, but yeah, I was a couple of years ago. I was falsely accused of crime, and totally made up, totally made up. And the motive of the person doing it was to try to scam me out of money. So they threatened, basically like, you give us money and we may drop these charges, type of thing. So they had financial motive, and these camera recordings saved my ass, because at the time this person told the cops, at 8 o'clock on this day, I was supposedly over there committing this crime. And these cameras proved, amongst other things, that I was home at the time, that I couldn't possibly have done. And the detective realized that, so they dropped the charges. But it cost me quite a bit in lawyer fees just to even. I spent like 5,000 rand on lawyer fees just to just go through the small process of, day one in court, charges dropped, but yeah, but false charges are very common. People don't realize just how common they are. People have a lot of different motives for lying. But, my cameras all over the house just prove. And if I didn't have those cameras, I don't know what it would. If these CCTV cameras all over my house, it would have been much harder to demonstrate that I had nothing to do with it. I mean, there was no crime, nothing to do with it. There wasn't even a crime, she just made it up. Why is this stuff not even compiling now? What's going on? There were other things I added as well. I mean, I had email headers showing I was typing emails or sending emails at 8 o'clock, and WhatsApp messages and photos with GPS coordinates embedded in them. You know, a lot of different things just that I had to. What's going on here? Is this not seeing? Memcamp, identify not found. Oh. Oh, no? Is this building safe helper? I don't want you to build safe helper. Why is this build failing? Literally, this is basically like the same VM. Just, I have copied the same VM, yeah. Oh, and the build's failing. Could it be the same thing? I don't know. Let's go with the file. Don't know. Oh, that's why I stopped the build halfway. Now I remember, because the build just didn't succeed. That's right. Now I remember. Yeah, this needs to be dealt with. It's only the beta build that doesn't work. But still, that's pretty serious. Let's check if the errors, if it's the same errors. Memcamp. Identifier not found. No. That's weird. It's not even the same errors. It's link error. Different errors on the other machine. Let's take a quick break. I love dealing with compile errors. It's so fun. That's why I got into programming. To try figure out such exciting mysteries. That's why I get a compiler, a memcamp not defined, just for adding a third-party library. But what's going on? It works fine everywhere else. This thing is not doing it for me. This VNC, it's just confusing me. I need to either The machine is dying, man. Okay, shut that down. I need to get these damn compilers sorted. I can't afford to be stuck now not being able to build this rubbish. I can just turn off the server stuff, then it'll build again. But that's not the point. The point is to get that stuff included. Yeah, why not just turn it off? I could turn it off. Let me just see what's going on here. Let's see if Alpha builds, and builds fine. Let me show you that it does build fine. Nonsense. I need to make food. So maybe cook some steaks. But it doesn't take long to just throw them on. You can keep going on the screen while I'm doing the steak. So that fault was the problem. Sorry I was gone a bit long. Not making steak right now. It's going to take too long. Wait and see if my ex-girlfriend pitches and she can make a steak if she comes. Turn it on file lip boost thread. I think I'm making a sandwich here. I may have to pause the stream just to lip boost thread. Resetting multi boost thread. Isn't that the file it's looking for? Why is it looking for that? That's the question. Lib boost thread VC100MT. Oh, lib boost, not boost. That file is not on the hard disk. Why? What's going on now? I'm going to take a break. So,